The parallax effect can add eye candy to the user experience of your website, but currently Elementor does not offer a parallax option out of the box. So in this episode, I'll share with you 5 options
to fix that.
Hello, I'm your host Casino. I'm a digital alchemist, and today I'm going to share with you 5 ways to add a parallax background effect to your Elementor powered website. Now, the first method is completely free, and the other 4 require premium plugins. So whether you're using free tools or premium ones, this tutorial is definitely for you. Now, first of all, what is parallax? According to Wikipedia, parallax scrolling is a technique in computer graphics where background images move past the camera more slowly than foreground images, creating an illusion of depth in a 2D scene and adding to the sense of immersion in the virtual experience. Now, as mentioned in the intro, currently out of the box, Elementor does not offer parallax, so here are 5 options to fix that. Okay, so first let's have a look at what we're going to build. So I'm just going to scroll down. Okay, and as you can see here, with this section, the background goes at a different speed than the elements in the front. So if I go down and if I go up, so that's the parallax effect. And that's precisely what we're going to build today. And as I mentioned, I'm going to show you 5 ways to achieve that. So the first method of adding parallax to Elementor is completely free. So you can achieve that with Elementor, the free version, and with no plugin actually, because we're going to use some code, the code that you see here on screen. And we must give credit to Sniffle Valve, who actually is providing the code. So I will put a link in the description of this episode, and you can go straight to Sniffle Valve. And by the way, they also have a complete tutorial if you really want the complete step-by-step tutorial. Now, I'm gonna go a bit faster today because we're going to see 5 different ways, but basically it's very easy. So if you're scared by code, don't stop this video yet because it's pretty easy. So the first thing we want to do is to copy that code. So I'm just gonna click on this icon to have it raw. Then I'm just going to select the whole code. Then I'm going to do a right click and copy. Or you can do Command C on a Mac or Control C on desktop. Now, once we've done that, we now need to go in the WordPress admin. And the first thing we want to do is actually add a new plugin. So click on Plugin, Add New. And the plugin we're going to add is called Code Snippets. And you can see here, I've already typed Code Snippets. So once you find Code Snippet, just click on Install Now. Okay, and once it's installed, you only need to activate. So click on Activate. Okay, so now we got Code Snippets installed, and you notice here on the left-hand side that you have the Code Snippet menu items. So we're going to add a new snippet. So click on Add New. Then we're going to give it a name. Let's call it Parallax. Elementor, and then we're just going to paste the code we just copied in the previous step. So I'm just going to hit Command V, or you can hit Control V on a PC. We want the snippet to run everywhere, so click on Save Changes. Okay, fine. And now the next thing we want to do is to add the Parallax class, because that's the name of the class that we're using. So I'm just going to edit my page. So I already created a page because I really want this tutorial to be about how to add parallax and not how to create a page. So I've already created a page, so I'm going to edit it with Elementor. Okay, so this is my page, and the last thing I need to do is for any section that I want to add parallax on, I'm just going to add the parallax class. So first of all, I'm going to select my section. So I can either click here on the 6 little dots, edit section, or the other way is to open the navigator and select the section I want to work with by clicking on the different sections. So I want the second section, and actually the best way, the best practice is to rename your section. So I'm just going to double click, and I'm going to call it Parallax, for example. Okay, so let me put it back to section, but you get the idea. If you work on a real project, it would be better to actually rename the section. Okay, so I'm sure I'm editing that second section. Then I need to go, well, by default, you land on the layout tab. Then you need to go to advanced. And here in the CSS classes, I'm just going to tap Parallax because this is the name. Let me go back. This is the name of the section that is used in the code. So you could just copy and paste so you're sure you don't make any mistake. But I've already typed it, Parallax. So now let me hit update. Okay, and now let's move to the front end. Okay, so now we are on the front end of our website and I have not yet reloaded the page. So if I move to the second section, you can see that there is no parallax. Everything is fixed. So I'm just going to refresh the page now by hitting Command R. You can hit F5 on a PC. And now as I move up and down, you can see that there's a difference in speed between the background element and the front element. So it's as simple as that for the first method. And as I said, it's completely free. Now, if you go back to the WordPress admin, and if I go back to the code, you can actually change some of the settings here. You can change the speed, you can change the direction. If you know what you're doing, it's going to be pretty easy. If you don't, just experiment. Make sure that you keep a copy of the code. Now, as I mentioned, I will link to the original article. So if I go back, this is the blog post actually, and you can look at the full instructions. You can also look at the different comments, and there's also a YouTube video that you can follow if you want more in-depth step-by-step tutorial. But for our tutorial, that's about it. So let me go back to the front end, scroll up and down, and this is what we wanted. So it's pretty easy. As I said, even if you don't know anything about code, all you need to do is copy some code, add a plugin, and add a class name to the section you want to use Parallax on. So let's move to the second method. Okay, for the second method, we're going to use a premium plugin called JetElements for Elementor. And if you look at all the different widgets they have this parallax feature. Now, if you don't know JetElements, it's made by Zemes, and they have a service called CrocoBlock. And with the CrocoBlock subscription, you get JetElements, JetMenu, JetTabs, JetBlocks. Well, I'm not going to cover the whole list. You can see it here on screen. I mean, it's amazing value for the money that you're going to spend, but I'm not going to go into details too much because I've already covered that. Just want to let you know that the pricing is pretty aggressive and it's pretty nice, especially if you take the lifetime plan, because it's $2.99 and basically you can install all of these different plugins on as many websites as you want, and it's unlimited. This is the lifetime deal. So I don't know if they're going to keep the lifetime deal. For the moment, it looks like they are, but just in case they ever remove it, my advice is get it while you can. Okay, so we're going to use JetElements, and let's move to the WordPress admin. Okay, back in WordPress admin, go to pages, all pages. Okay, and then click on edit with Elementor. Okay, so the first thing we want to do once again is to make sure we select the section we want to add the parallax effect on. So I'm going to select the second section, click on the 6 dots, or on the second section here in the navigator. And then just to show you, if I go to the advanced tab, there's no class here. So this is completely different. So let's move back to the layout tab, and here at the bottom you can see Jet Parallax. So I'm going to click on that, and then item 1. Actually, you can add several items, but for today we're just going to focus on the background. So the first thing you need to do is to add an image. Now we already have an image if we look at the background here, but I'm just going to show you by adding a different image for the time being. So insert media. It doesn't look that good, but it's just for the sake of showing you how it works. So the next thing we want to do is to change the background size to cover, and the animation property is going to be background position. So now if I move, I can see the difference. Now I can't really see the text, so I'm going to change back to the first image that I had. Oh, sorry, it was actually this one here. Okay, so now it should work. But the only thing with JetElements is that, as you recall, if I remove this image, still an image in the background, but the parallax is not going to work. So let me add the image back. Okay, so that's working. We can see it right here. But we don't want that image to be loaded twice. So for that, we need to remove the original background section image. So let's move to the Style tab, and I'm going to remove it here. So we can actually optimize our website. Now, let me update. And now let's move to the front end. Okay, so now we're back on the front end, and I have not yet reloaded the page. So as you can see, it's completely fixed. So now let me refresh the page by hitting Command R on a Mac or F5 on a PC. And as you can see, it's working fine, just like in the previous method. Now, let's go back to WordPress admin. And as you can see here on the Parallax elements, I can actually change the background position. I can change a bunch of different settings. I can change the parallax speed. But one thing that's interesting with JetElements, I can also change the type of parallax. So I could do mouse move. And now as I move the mouse, you can see the background is moving. Or I can do a scrolling zoom, which is quite interesting. So the background is just zooming. And if you really want to see the effect, it's better to change the picture. As you can see, picture with details. I mean, it's quite a nice effect, you know. I could come up with some ideas for some very creative pages, but I think it's pretty interesting. So let me update that because we can see the effect in Elementor. But now let's move to the front end and let's refresh our page. Okay, and now if I scroll, as you can see, quite interesting effect. But we don't want that picture because, as you notice, all the pictures have this really dark scheme, and as you scroll, it feels natural. So let me go back and change the picture back, insert media, click on updates. Now let's go back to the front end and let's refresh our page. I'm going pretty fast, but I've been doing the same action actually back and forth. So if I go back to the top, interesting effect. Okay, but let's go back, and what we really wanted to do here is just use the regular scroll, but at least I've shown you the other options. So one last time, let's go back to the front end, let's refresh our page. And as you can see, we have a nice transition and a nice parallax effect. So that was for the second method with JetElements. Now for the third method, we're going to use an add-on pack, a premium add-on pack for Elementor called Element Pack for Elementor. They have a bunch of widgets, but we're just going to focus on the parallax background today. Now, just like the previous package, they also have a lifetime deal, an agency package, so unlimited website and unlimited updates for $249. And once again, in my opinion, it's quite interesting, especially this pack has a lot of nice features, or you can go with the yearly pricing. But once again, we're not going to go deeper into that today. I'll probably cover Element Pack in another video. Okay, so let's have a look at the effect on their websites. And yeah, basically, we want parallax. So by now, at this point in the video, you know what it looks like. So let's move to the WordPress admin. Okay, so back in WordPress admin. Now, the first thing you want to do is go to Plugins, Add New. And as you can see, I've already added the Elementor Pack Pro plugin, but all you need to do if you're doing this from scratch is to click on Add New, upload your premium plugin, and then click on Activate. Now, once you've done that, go to Pages, All Pages. If you haven't created a page yet, it's time to create it. But as with the previous methods, I've already created a page, so click on Edit with Elementor. And once you're in Elementor, we're going to look once again for the second section or any section you want to add parallax on. But I'm going to pick the second one, so click on Edit Section. Then I'm going to move this time to the Style tab. So it's different from the previous couple of methods. So go to the Style tab, and once you selected your image, underneath you can see Enable Parallax. So EP for Element Pack. So I'm just going to enable it. You can select the parallax amount, and as I start scrolling, you can't see anything, and that's normal because with Element Pack for Elementor, apparently it doesn't show once when you're in Elementor. So you need to have faith. Keep on click on updates, okay? And now let's move to the front end. I haven't reloaded the page yet, so there's no parallax here as I move up and down. Now let's refresh the page. Okay, and now you can see it's very subtle, but we can change that, but you can see there is some parallax. So let's move back and let's change the parallax amount to minus, yeah, almost 400, minus 390. Let's update. Now let's refresh the page. Okay, and now you can see it's much more dramatic. So it works pretty nice, works pretty good. The only difference is that if you move back to the Elementor page builder, you can't really see what you're doing. So you need to go back and forth. Personally, I don't mind, but I know some people will mind. So that's why I'm presenting you different options today. Also, you won't find the options that we found in the JetElements plugin, where you can have the scroll zooming and all the other options that I showed you. But let's go back. Once again, it works really nice if all you want to do is to add some gorgeous parallax in your background. Now, a word of caution here. You don't want to add parallax on each and every section, each and every element, because first of all, it's going to be jittery like hell. And also when everything moves, then it doesn't look that nice. So you really want to use this parallax by subtle touches. So that's my advice to you. Now, as you can see, if I scroll, it looks really nice. So let's move on to the next method. Now, for the method number 4, we're going to use a premium add-on called Piotnet Addons for Elementor. So let's have a look at the Parallax background on their website. Okay, so now let's move back to the WordPress admin and let's see how we need to set up Piotnet add-ons. Okay, so back in WordPress admin, the first thing you want to do is go to plugins, add new. And as previously, you want to add the Piotnet add-ons for Elementor. You can add the first plugin, it's completely free. You can add it from the WordPress repository. So just click on add new, and then you just type Piotnet add-ons and you can install it straight from the WordPress dashboard. And once you've done that, you actually need to add the Pro add-on. And for that, just click on add new, upload a file. So you're just going to upload the zip file that you got when you purchased Piotnet add-ons. And once you've done that, you just need to click on activate. Now, a word about the pricing of Piotnet add-ons. It's even cheaper than the previous packages because for $50, you get unlimited sites, lifetime updates, and lifetime supports. And if we look at the features, I'm not going to read all of these, but there's a bunch of features here and some very unique features to Piotnet, even though in the latest releases of Elementor, some of those features have been implemented, but somewhat differently. So what I like about this plugin is the fact that they try to come up with really unique features. So we can hope that for the future, they will add some more unique features that people are actually asking about. But for the time being, we are focused on the Parallax background. Okay, with that out of the way, the next thing you want to do is actually click on Piotnet add-ons so you can get to the settings and make sure that the Parallax background is actually on. By default, everything will be on, but I don't really advise to have everything on because it's just gonna use much more resources and you want to be optimizing your website. So while you're in dev, it's okay to have everything on, but once you go live, you really want to make sure you only activate what you need. So for this tutorial, make sure you have the Parallax background activated. And once you've done that, go to pages, all pages. Okay, and if you don't have a page, now is the time to create one. But just like in the previous methods, I've already created one. So click on edit with Elementor. Okay, and once you're in Elementor, make sure you select the section you want to add Parallax on. I don't know why, but I like the second section. So I'm just going to click on edit section. Okay. And then just like in the previous method, I'm going to click on the style tab. So first of all, make sure that you have an image in the background, as you can see here. And then you can see underneath the options, you will see enable PAFE Parallax, so Piotnet add-ons for Elementor Parallax. So I'm just going to activate it. And also, it says here, note that currently Parallax are not visible in edit preview mode and can only be viewed in the front end. So it's exactly like for the Element Pack Pro. So you need to have faith once again. So you have a few more options. You can change the speed, you can change the offset. Now, let me show you. So let's click on update. Okay, and now we're on the front end and I have not yet reloaded the page. So let's look at it. It's completely fixed. There's no parallax. So let me refresh the page by hitting Command R or F5 on a desktop. And as you can see, the background image has completely disappeared. So I don't even know if the parallax is working or not because I can't see the background. I don't know if the background is going at a different speed than the elements. So I don't know if that's a bug with the latest version of Elementor or Piotnet. I'm not sure because when I tried previously, it used to work, but here is the workaround for the moment. So let's go back to WordPress admin to the Elementor page builder. And you have a second option here, enable PAFE Parallax new version. So let's do that. Click on updates. Okay, so now let's go back and once again refresh the page. And now it's working fine. So that's for the workaround. But if you go back to the Elementor page builder, we can see a message here that says parallax effect will work on iPhone, iPad, but it does not look good. So with that option on, you just really need to test on an iPad, on an iPhone, just to make sure that it works right. But once again, I actually tried this previously and I didn't have the bug when I only activated the first option. So my guess is that it's just the fact that there's been a new version of Elementor out, and I guess that Piotnet hasn't updated yet, or it's being updated. But you should definitely test with just the first option on and the second option on, and then monitor that. So let's go back. Let's go up and down, and once again, Parallax is working fine. So let's move on to the fifth and final method. Okay, the fifth and last method for today's tutorial is to use a premium plugin called Elementor Extras. It comes with a bunch of very beautiful widgets and some unique features, but today we're going to focus, of course, on the Parallax background. So let me show you some examples. And what I really like about Elementor Extras Parallax is that you also get the left and right parallax. And I really love that. You know, it's a bit different than what we're used to see, although it's getting very, very popular. But what I'm talking about is what we're used to see when it comes to using Parallax with Elementor. So definitely a plus. And if we look at the pricing, it's $26 for a single website, $64 for unlimited website. And the first two plans are yearly plans. So each and every year you need to pay either 26 or 64 euros. And the lifetime deal is 128, which once again, in my opinion, is a very good deal. Now, if you work with Elementor Extras, a word of caution, I love Elementor Extras, but what I've noticed is that as soon as there is an Elementor or Elementor Pro update, you don't want to update everything at once, because more often than not, I need to wait for Elementor Extras to come up with a fix. So it works good and the team is quite responsive, and you know, the support is good. I'm just saying you don't want to update all the time on a production website. If you have Elementor Extras, you really want to test, and actually you need to do that for each and every website. You should never test on a live website. Okay, enough rambling. So let's move to the WordPress admin. Okay, so back in WordPress admin, once again, the first thing you want to do is go to plugin, add new, and then upload your premium plugin. Now I've already done that. So the next thing you want to do is go to pages and create a page or edit the page you already created. So click on Edit with Elementor. Okay, and once you're in Elementor, you know the drill now. You know which section I'm going to choose. So let's move to the second section that I've selected. And once you're in there, you want to go to the Style tab, and underneath the option, so make sure you have an image. Underneath the background options, you see Extras Parallax background. So I'm just going to enable that, and you can change the parallax speed. You can change the direction, but compared to the first four methods that we've used, you can see that Elementor Extra really zooms in the picture. So you need to make sure that you have a good enough quality picture. And here in this case, I can see that quality was perfect for the first four methods, but here it becomes a little blurry because I've really optimized the image. And what Elementor Extra does here is that it's really upscaling the image. So that's why it looks a bit blurry. If you look at it 100%, it looks really nice. A good compromise between quality and weight, but here it looks a bit blurry. So you know what to do. You need to actually get a better resolution image, still try to optimize it. But for the sake of this tutorial, we're just going to use this one here. So let me update. Okay, and now let's move to the front end. So I have not yet reloaded the page, and as you can see, there is no parallax. So let me refresh the page. Okay, and now you can see we have some nice parallax going up and down. And actually, compared to all the methods, I found that this seems to be the smoother. Although I'm pretty sure that if you just use code, you can get something even smoother. But if you want to use a plugin, yeah, this is the smoothest I got from all the plugins. Well, the other ones were good. I'm just saying that this one seems to be a little smoother. So let's move back to the WordPress admin, and now let's test the left or right, but I'm just going to test one. So I selected parallax direction left, updated, and now let's move and let's refresh our page. Okay, and now if I move, you can see that the background is moving in a different direction. That's pretty nice. You know, I really love that that effect. As I mentioned, this is very unique. Well, currently, at least, to Elementor Extras. Now you can easily do that with code. Well, easier said than done, but it's pretty easy to do it with code. But with if you want to use a plugin, as I said, this is the only one that offers that currently. So this may change by the time you watch this video. So these were the first methods that I recommend if you want to use Parallax. Now there are other methods, other add-ons, but I can't cover everything. So just share the ones that I've used in various projects or that I wanted to test. And well, you should now feel pretty confident to add Parallax to your website, whether you want to use free tools or premium ones. Now, if you are interested in purchasing any of the premium plugins mentioned, you will find the links in the description of this episode. Now, to be crystal clear, these are affiliate links, which means that I do get a commission if you purchase a license after clicking on my links. But one, I only recommend plugins that I enjoy and would recommend to my inner circle. And two, commissions help me support this channel and create free content. So if you use any of my links, I would like to
thank you.
So I hope that you now feel confident to add Parallax to your Elementor powered website. Let me know in the comments, and by the way, you find the companion blog post on my website casino.com, and of course the direct link is in the description of this episode. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please like it, as it really helps growing this channel, and if you know someone that could benefit from it, please share it now. If you're not a subscriber yet, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and smash the notification bell so that you don't miss anything. Now, if you want to brand, market, and grow your business in the digital age, then make sure you subscribe to my email newsletter so that you never miss your share of digital alchemy, as well as tips, tools, services, and case studies that can help you grow your business online. So that's it for this episode. I hope to see you around, and in the meantime, don't forget to invest
in your success.